Okay, we're back. Let's go.
You ready, hey?
We are.
Hey, everybody. It's Kurt Studley, Dan Grimes. This is the Broker Loaded Podcast. This is our first podcast edition of 2022. Did you know that?
Yes, it is. Do you want to explain why it's our first one sitting next to one another?
Well, we were taking COVID precautions. We took a break at the Christmas and the New Year.
We were,
Yeah.
and we prefer.
We what?
Correct. That.
We prefer what?
We prefer being shoulder to shoulder when we do these.
That's right.
Bouncing ideas off one another. We feel the format's much more entertaining for those of you out there.
Yeah, the plexiglass partition we ordered is just not in yet.
It's not in,
No.
and I don't know what good it was going to do because it would have been here anyway and not here. So what's up today?
Oh, we're going to have some fun. Welcome to our first podcast of the new year. Great to have you along. By the way, we are both realtors in the nation's capital here in Ottawa, Ontario, which has become famous worldwide for various reasons.
You warned me.
Yeah,
We weren't going to mention that.
No, we're not going to mention that. What we're going to talk about, though, today's episode is entitled, What to Expect from Your Realtor, Part 1, Buyers. So we're gonna touch on a couple of topics, a couple of very important topics about your representation and what that representation should look like. Correct?
What to expect from a realtor in this type of markets.
Yeah. Also, you'll want to stay tuned because we've been working diligently on a brand new segment called Grumpy Grimes. That's coming up a little later in this podcast. But first,
Had to do it.
What to expect from your realtor, Part 1, Buyers. Now, this is a topic
Yeah,
that you brought up because
I did.
the current market is tough on buyers. It's really a difficult market to navigate for people trying to get into the housing market, especially first timers.
Yes, and we're reading a lot about it again, and the stats seem to indicate that we have less on the market today than we did a year ago, which even makes it more difficult.
Right. Now, buyers, I'm sure, have heard that there's low inventory, and what that means is there's just not enough houses for sale currently.
No.
We're in early February, just past we're into the second week of February already. What the heck?
We are.
But the current market is one that requires special attention, especially when buyers or sellers, but from a buyer's perspective, it's really important.
Yeah, it is. And we've talked about this, and I've talked about it with more. And no offense to any of the newer realtors, but you haven't been trained in, kind of some old school methods. Yeah, you've heard the term door knocking, I'm assuming, since you were in the business.
Yes, I've done my fair share of door knocking
Well,
in various forms.
Well, it's time to get back to door knocking for a lot of the realtors out there.
When you talk about door knocking, when you're a realtor representing a buyer,
Yeah.
you're talking about getting boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground, but door knocking or cold calling, or as some people refer to it as warm calling in the old days.
Right.
Fortunately, we don't get those calls these days because most of us are on our cell phones. But back in the day, and I'll go back just 10 years ago,
Right.
realtors would prospect for listings. I think now they should be prospecting for homes that haven't presently hit the market
Right.
and are on MLS, particularly if you're looking for a specific property for a buyer. I think
Right.
it's important.
So if I'm a buyer, and let's say, let's pick an area. I'm looking for something in Barrhaven,
Right?
but I'm looking for a specific sort of time frame of when it was built, and maybe I'm even looking for a specific model,
Right.
So I'm a buyer who knows basically what they want. You know what they want, but finding that property can be a little difficult.
Well, you can't wait. I mean, the problem with the realtors that are out there, buyers working with realtors who aren't proactive, you're going to be subject to, the conditions that this market presents us with. Your realtor is sitting there waiting. He's getting up in the morning, or she's getting up in the morning like it's a stock market.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going on the MLS system, or our local MLS system here in Ottawa, hoping that a home comes up for meeting the criteria of your buyer.
Yeah.
The issue with that, and let's face it, most of the homes are sold that way to begin with.
Right.
But the issue with that is that buyer is now in the position that they're hoping to avoid, that all buyers are hoping to avoid, and that's the multiple offer situation that we're still finding in this market. I spoke to a realtor just last Wednesday who had a...
You spoke to a realtor?
I did. It's two, and a mortgage broker. But they had a modestly priced, well-priced townhome for sale out in the West End, and she had 63 offers on it. 63.
On one?
One.
A townhome?
Townhome. In the $400,000 range.
Yeah. Well, that's an extreme.
Condo townhome.
Yeah, it's an extreme, that number, in terms of offers, but having them a dozen or more is not unusual. And that's tough for buyers who are trying to get into the market or, establish a home, buy a home, sell a home, whatever it is.
Right.
It's difficult to sift through all that and try and make sure you're the winner. Now, a lot of realtors claim they have a winning formula for that, and good on them. But there's other ways. What we're talking about is other ways your realtor can help you find that home and not be involved possibly in that process of multiple offers.
And that's back to prospecting and putting your boots on the ground,
Right.
and going out, knocking on doors.
Right.
So let's use an example, pick a name of a model. I'll go with the Manhattan.
The Manhattan.
The Manhattan. I think there's a few builders who build the Manhattan.
Sure.
So it's a very easy model to identify from the street. Okay. Generally an end unit. They're larger units.
Yeah.
The Manhattan I'm referring to, I think it's built by men.
I think I've sold the Manhattan. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you know a client is looking for a Manhattan model, why would you not go out and try and find it? Why would you just be sitting waiting for it to come up on MLS? So I think if you're a buyer, it would be important for me to be working with a realtor who's proactive in this market for sure.
Now, mind you, there are levels of proactive, and not every buyer requires you to do that sort of thing, to go into a neighborhood and knock on doors and ask people if they're interested in selling. That doesn't happen in all cases, but...
No, most buyers are just happy these days just to find a home that they have an opportunity to buy.
Right. But when you're specific...
They've widened their scope.
Exactly. When you're specific, let's say you have a street in mind. You don't really care what kind of, what house on that street, but you have a street in mind.
Yeah.
It's boots on the ground would mean the realtor either dropping off something, some sort of a door hanger, which is what you like, or some sort of thing that indicates that they have people who are interested in their home, and would they be interested in selling it, correct?
If you're looking for a particular street,
right.
That's even easier for the realtor to do.
Right, because you know what street.
They don't have to identify a certain model.
I'm just using that as an example.
Absolutely, 100%.
Be a model, a street, a neighborhood, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Those are specifics we're talking about. Are realtors doing that?
Not out here. I get what type of flyer? The flyers that I get either in my mailbox, some of them stick them to the door, are the flyers that have been going around. We've all been talking about it in the industry.
Right.
We buy homes.
Right. And it looks like it's handwritten, that one?
Yeah, and it's always on a yellow piece of paper, which they recommended the color you use, I don't know, 35 years ago.
But
it was a big deal back then.
Right. And we all get those. I also get some, there's mail campaigns where you get a postcard from a particular realtor who's indicated that they are, interested in talking to you about selling your house.
Is there any realtor not interested in talking to people who sell your house?
Most of us are.
The difference between the mail campaigns, that's self-promotion. You're talking about a mass ad mail campaign that realtors use. Not as popular today as they were, prior to social media, where you can reach a larger audience through social media.
Right.
But the realtors that are still, we call farming a particular area, they're fairly consistent with them because their work. And
I get a postcard from the same realtor every other month, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. I'm in Riverside South, and we used to. We don't get them anymore. I tend to get the odd one every now and again from a realtor I've never even heard of.
Right.
But, I like the direct approach. If the realtor takes a piece of that literature and actually puts it in your mailbox or hangs it on your doorknob, they were walking around. These guys are serious and likely have a serious qualified buyer for that neighborhood.
Right.
Because I'll tell you, they wouldn't be walking around in minus 35-degree weather like last week if they didn't have somebody.
Right. It's something you're talking about, getting back to the basics, and maybe that's something in the current marketplace. Maybe that's something we should be doing, right?
Everything old is new again.
Yeah.
And you can't, somebody always wins in a multiple offer situation.
Right.
There's always somebody who's going to buy the home.
Yeah.
The opportunity, and I talked to you about it, I deal with a lot of, the senior crowd, or even the pre-senior crowd, 55 and up.
Well, you're a senior.
Oh, I am. 60 and up. Glad you pointed that out.
Well, I'm 60. I can
Yeah,
point
you
that
just
out. I'm
turned
allowed.
60. We're 122 years old
Oh
now.
my God.
Unbelievable.
Anyway.
But there's a lot of sellers under the conditions and the environment that we're in right now who don't want 50 or 60 people coming through their home. If you can happen to hit on one of those and you just simply say, if you got a good price for your home with a convenient closing, are you considering making a move sometime this year?
Mm-hmm.
And if they say yes, and you can have a list of buyers, and it's not like, I can see agents rolling their eyes out there right now going, he's trying to double end it. Double ending's a term, people, where agents aren't paying out a commission and they're keeping all of the commission.
Only because they represent or work with both sides in the
Both
deal.
sides of the deal, yeah.
Doesn't happen a lot, but it happens.
Doesn't happen a lot, but if I'd give you an example out of McKellar on Briarwood. Elderly couple, very active. They didn't want recent, had medical conditions at one time in the previous year, and he
Right.
didn't feel comfortable putting his home out on MLS
Okay.
and having 50 people come through the home,
Right.
probably 35 of which were just looking or weren't qualified to buy a home in that price range anyway.
Right.
But with today's social media, we were able to market the home exclusively, and we do our due diligence. We know the people. We make a list of all the realtors that are very active out in that area,
Right.
and we send notices out to them saying this property is currently being marketed, and we're cooperating with any realtor or brokerage who brings us an offer.
Right.
Plus we have our own website page as realtors for exclusives that we can advertise. So you can still get lots of exposure, multiple offers, and get top value, maximum value for your home without hitting the MLS.
Mm-hmm.
If you're concerned about the volume of people coming through.
Right.
And possibly any COVID concerns that you may have.
An exclusive listing is like a buyer's agent delight, right? I mean, you should be seeking those out if you're in the business and you haven't
you
figured
should
that
be. You should be on the web. It's a Facebook page. I'm not real.
Well, there is a Facebook group for realtors only that has exclusive listings on there, but
Yeah.
There's ways to find out.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I've had people. I've had 2 people in the last 6 months knock on my door. Private buyers
Really.
saying, "Look,
Not realtors, buyers.
knock on my door." Now, they were working with realtors.
Okay, but they were doing the door knocking?
Yep, they were just out. They were living in townhomes
Fair
out
enough.
where I live. They're
Yeah.
looking for a single family home.
Yeah.
They realize that a realtor can only cover so much ground in a day.
Right.
And I mean, the first one, I remember it well. It was last April. It was a beautiful day. So she was just out for a walk
Yeah.
or a run, and she just knocked on. She was going door to door, knocking on door. Not every door, just doors of homes
That she liked.
that she liked.
Right.
Yeah. She found one.
Good.
She did.
And
And a realtor represented her.
she ultimately found one.
She found the
Yeah.
home.
Yeah, and that's another thing, another piece of information for buyers that we should impart is, listen,
Yeah.
your realtor, assuming you have a good realtor, is working hard to find you what you're looking for, but that shouldn't stop you from looking as well, right?
No, not at all. I
Right.
mean, especially if you're in an area, I mean, I'll use Riverside South because this is where I am, where there can be a progression. You can come out to Riverside South and you can buy a 2-story or a 3-story, 2-bedroom walk-up condo. Then you can transition into your townhome. Then you can transition into your single-family home.
Okay.
So anybody who's looking to get into a townhome, go knock on a few doors, or at least give your realtor a list of the streets, your preferred streets. Like, help them out.
Yeah, and when we're talking about boots on the ground for realtors out there, we're not talking about going through an entire neighborhood and pounding on every door.
No, not
No,
at
that
all.
doesn't work.
No.
And spends a lot of time doing.
Yeah.
Well, it's counterproductive to a degree. Be specific. Get some specifics from your buyers, and then start that process of drilling down and finding the areas and the homes that they might be interested in. And
Well, it makes both sides. It makes the realtor's job a lot easier. We talked about this on an earlier episode. Your wants, needs, and must-haves. Part of the process, particularly in today's market, sit down with the realtor that you want to work with. By far and away, you're going to get your greatest selection of properties working with a realtor.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt about it. There's other models out there, but the significant amount that they have on the market that they're marketing doesn't even scratch a micro percentage of what the MLS across North America can give you.
On that note, there's going to be, and there have been a lot of situations where buyers will find themselves in the multiple offer scenario.
Yep.
I mean, it's just bound to happen currently in this market, right?
Yeah.
Unless you happen to, put the work in and maybe get a little bit lucky and find something for your clients, or they find something, or whatever happens. But for the most part, that's what you're facing. That's reality right now. Is if you're looking for a home, there's a good chance you're going to be involved in multiple offers.
Oh,
Right? And there are strategies surrounding that, ways that realtors can work for you that can help get you what you want, or not get you what you want, right?
or not get you what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of those ways is registering your offer. And I think there's a lot of realtors who are confused about what that means. And
I don't think they're confused about it if it's explained to them. It's
Right.
pretty basic. They just don't use it, or it's not being promoted by either the brokers or managers inside the office.
Right.
And I've talked to enough of them because I had questions about the form.
Danny has, by the way, you're listening to and or watching the Broker Loaded Podcast, a podcast all about real estate. That's what it's about. You're talking about a specific document. And it's called, we know it as Form 801, the
Right.
801.
The 801.
It's called an offer summary document. And you're of the belief, and this is something you would do, is you should include this if you're entering into that realm of the multiple offer scenario, if you have a house your client is interested in.
Well, I don't know. If you're in a multiple offer situation, I can't think of any situation where you wouldn't want to use it.
Right.
Now, the 801, to explain it to the public, that's who we're talking to here, in a multiple offer situation, generally, if you're submitting an offer, and let's say offers are to be presented at 3 o'clock this afternoon,
Right.
generally as a strategy, hopefully, all realtors will submit their offers as close to that 3 o'clock time frame. Am I correct?
One would hope.
Okay. So in a situation where they don't use an 801 and that agent submits their offer, there's a couple of scenarios. That agent submits their offer, let's say 2 hours before, so 1 o'clock. So now the listing agent knows the details of all the offers,
Right,
correct?
right.
Okay. When that offer is submitted, you've registered an offer.
Right.
On
Once you submit
on
it,
that property.
that's registered off.
Okay.
Yeah.
So any other offers that do come in on the property, that listing agent has to inform you that we've received another offer
Mm-hmm.
and continually keep you updated on any of the terms or conditions of the presentation time.
Right.
Any changes have been made.
Right.
Really, the disadvantage, though, is all of the details of the offer have been submitted.
Right.
If you wait until the 3 o'clock, you may be able to clarify this better than myself. If you wait till the 3 o'clock, you have not been informed, and you do not have the right to know how many offers are on that property.
Okay.
That's the way it works?
Right.
Okay?
Right. The 801 takes care of that.
The
for you.
801 takes care of that because you can actually send, if you have an offer in your hand the day before and you send in to the listing agent a signed 801, that's notifying the agent that you already have a signed offer on that property to present at the time frame that's been specified under the realtor's instructions. Correct?
Exactly. It spells out who your brokerage is, who your realtor is, as in sales representative, the buyer. It spells out, and it's signed by the buyer.
Yeah.
Gives them their names, and basically is sent off to the listing agent to indicate that they will be bringing an offer or plan to bring an offer.
Sure. And
Right.
once that's in, the listing agent does not know the details of your offer, specifically the price
No.
that's offering,
No.
but is under the obligation to inform you of how many offers or have the terms changed on the way the offers are being presented.
Right.
Or if, I hate this term, a bully offer. I wish agents would stop using
It's
it. A bully
no,
offer.
No,
It's
it's
ridiculous.
preemptive.
Reminds me. Preemptive offer.
Preemptive.
Preemptive offer is a professional way.
Right. Right. That's
Correct.
the way to go about it. This document ensures that you'll receive, as a buyer's realtor, all the information about what's happening on offer day with a particular property.
Yeah, or many of the, preemptive offers are prevalent.
Yeah.
Preemptive offer is if the time has been stated that offers are being presented, this coming Saturday at 3 o'clock, but somebody pushes their offer in there and tries to get it accepted, eliminating all the other competition. Agents are moving away from that. The top agents, and I talk to the top agents in the city, they're strong agents who say we're presenting the offers at 3 o'clock Saturday, and under no circumstances are we going to even consider preemptive offers. That's the way I think it should be done.
That's the way, yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah, I recently did that with a listing in the West End. That's
Yeah.
exactly the way it was. Right? So that means you cannot present an offer to your client. They can't open it and look at it and say, no, it's on that day at that time. That's when the conveyance happens, right?
Now, what's the advantage to the seller? The seller gets to wait till Saturday at 3 o'clock. There's been momentum building up in the marketplace.
Sure.
You truly find out who wants the home. You're going to get into a multiple offer situation. The preemptive offers, if somebody brings you an offer before that time, that agent, if they decide that they're going to negotiate that preemptive offer, now has to notify all those agents who are interested in the property, potential interest, have expressed interest in it.
Yes.
What can happen if that bully offer, boy, there I said it,
You said it.
bad boy. If that preemptive offer comes in 3 days before,
Right.
and they're trying to push the seller to accept it, well, agents are busy in this market trying to find homes. All the agents that have a great interest in that property, or their buyers have a great interest in that property, may be doing something else that day.
Right.
Maybe their whole day's full and they're not going to have time.
Yeah, and
to
all
put
of a
an
sudden
offer
things
together and get
change,
it.
right?
So the seller ends up accepting that preemptive offer, and maybe there was 12 other people
Who could have offered.
who could have offered on that property. So if you're a seller and you're going to accept a preemptive offer, you make sure it's like
To the top.
to the top.
But that's sellers. For buyers, make sure, talk to your realtor about the multiple offer process. Make sure you understand that going in, because
Yeah.
it's very important. And sometimes we're trying to explain it on the fly, and you know, it gets confusing and so on. So sit down with your realtor, and realtors, make sure you do an 80. I like the 801.
The 801, and I'll tell you, here's
Offer summary document.
here's a bunch of agents now that are going to roll their head, or roll their eyes. No, you'll roll your head. I think it's an advantage, and I like to be, where are you presenting the offers? Well, we're presenting the offers at the seller's home. Okay, I'll be in the laneway with my offer. And then agents go, well, we're using e-signature. E-signature does take time.
Yes.
It does take time. And if you're sitting,
Yes, Johnny Old School.
if you're sitting in the seller's laneway,
That shows you're committed.
do you
You're
not
in.
think they're in there going, is that guy still in? Like,
Yeah.
is he still in
They
there?
want it.
They want it. Okay, do me a favor. Just take the counter offer out to them. See what? Give them a 2-minute irrevocable. Show up.
It's worked.
Too many agents are sitting at home and they're just, they're could be on a chairlift up at Tremblant, trying to do the deal on their phone for you. I'm in the laneway.
Okay. Listen, we promised a brand new segment, something
Yeah.
we've been working on. And I'm delighted to say it for the first time. Grumpy Grimes is our new segment, because one of the two hosts of this podcast really like to talk about issues that are important to them.
And it's not always issues relating to the real estate industry, just to have a bit of fun.
Right. Now,
There's not much going on in Ottawa in the last couple of weeks to talk about, so we kind of had to go off the rails. here.
looking for a topic, looking for some sort of topic to talk about. Nothing happening here.
You're not going to do it, are you?
What? Okay,
there we go.
Grumpy Grimes. I'm gonna put together an intro for this, but that's gonna.
How do they contact us?
On our Facebook page, right? It's on the bottom of the screen.
Yes, it is.
Facebook page. We have an email address, right? Facebook page is the Broker Loaded Podcast.
Email is TheBrokerLoadedPodcast@gmail.com. We just both had to remind ourselves of that because it's been.
I was
Christmas.
searching the memory banks
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw the glaze in your eyes.
once again.
Yep. So, what's my rant this week?
What are you grumpy about this week, Danny?
Well, I'm not that grumpy about it. I just want to point out.
Very grumpy.
Okay.
Yes. What? Point out what?
So, Faces Magazine.
Oh, yes.
I pick it up.
Yeah.
I always like to see who's doing what, who's
It's not a bad magazine.
Not bad at all.
No.
Not bad at all.
Serves the community well.
If you want to learn how to dress like a Kardashian, just pick up a copy. But there's two awards that are prevalent in Ottawa. The Consumer Choice Awards used to be,
The big thing.
the big thing.
Are they around anymore? I don't know.
I'm going to say they are. Just
when I was
just
on
in case we're going to cover.
not to interrupt Grumpy Grimes' rant,
Yeah.
but I used to do a segment on television back in the new RO days called The Best of Ottawa. And I would go around and pick topics, and people would vote on what was the best.
Really?
Yeah, that's correct.
You want to hear something?
I used to give out
You want to hear a
plaques.
little piece of trivia?
Plaques. Well, yes.
I registered the website boo.ca.
Boo.ca.
Best of Ottawa.
Whoa.
Don't have it anymore. There's a tip for any of you who want
Right?
to start
It's sitting
another.
out there.
So anyway, I like the Faces magazine. Let
Yes.
me qualify with that.
It's the awards that are bugging you.
No, it's not even the awards. Well, okay, it's the way they reference the awards.
Okay, so there's lots of Faces awards. They've grown in terms of the amount of awards handed out every year, right? So
It's the term best.
okay,
Okay. Did you know Ottawa has a best receptionist? God bless his or her soul.
right.
Yeah,
There's a best receptionist,
there is.
right?
Yeah.
Is there a best gardener? I don't know. I've not looked. But we're going to deal with the best of the real estate awards.
Yeah, we're going to specifically look at real estate because I happen to think if you're going to refer to anybody as the best,
Right.
then what reference was used?
Well, now, to be clear, the Faces Awards are basically a voting system, like the general public votes.
It's a popularity.
Yes.
It's not the best. It's a popularity. It's those of them who can get most of their friends and contacts on social media.
Right.
Because we all get it. Please, please, please. Go to my page, vote for me, vote for me. And I get it. I get it.
Is this sour grapes because you didn't get nominated by anybody?
Oh, I could have nominated myself.
Or I could have.
Sure.
You are the best to me.
Yeah. So, but on a serious note, when you're going to refer to anybody as the best, I happen to believe it's either got to be a face-off,
right,
or stats.
So face-off,
bear it out.
by face-off you mean like next Sunday's football contest,
Perfect example.
right? Where the Bengals will take on the Rams.
And I'm very conflicted about who I want to win that game.
Me too.
I am.
I kind of want both to win.
I want both quarterbacks to win.
Yeah, I like Matthew Stafford and what he went through in Detroit.
Oh, he was tortured.
And Joe and the Bengals have never won.
He's got a great, and Joe. I mean,
Yeah, he's Joe.
So in a one-off like that, that's somebody against somebody, no different than
To determine the best.
to determine the best. Boxers, knockout, clear winner.
Right.
Okay. However, the category that we cover and talk about here is real estate.
Yes.
You happen to be able to verify statistically who is the best. Okay. Now, I'm not going to mention any names. They can all go on that, and I'm not disparaging anybody. I would just like to point out to the public, because these people end up using the best of in their marketing material.
Right.
I happen to think it's a little deceptive, so I just like to clear up some things. So we're going to look at the 4 categories here, Kurt. One,
Yes.
best brokerage.
Best brokerage.
Okay.
I work for the best brokerage. Well, I could say that.
I kind of have to agree with that. And not just because you're sitting next to me, by the way.
No.
But
So what would be your criteria for the best brokerage?
I would think it would be statistical information. So the best brokerage, I wouldn't say it's the brokerage who has sold the most properties.
Okay.
I'd like to break it down to what's the average ends done by that brokerage, by the agents in that brokerage. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I'm just saying that.
Well, everything's relative because all the brokerages are different size, different number of agents.
Oh, that's right. So if it was on who sold the most,
Right.
well, then it probably would be your brokerage.
I guess maybe, yeah.
You know, or it'd be, well, it's either you
One of the other big Remaxes, right?
yeah, or maybe a royal office. I don't know.
Maybe.
Could be. Anyway, I have no issue with this particular brokerage being named best brokerage.
Okay.
Statistically, they're nowhere near the best brokerage.
Right. If you were to boil it down to stats, they would not be the best.
No. But it's a nice little brokerage.
Right.
Got some great agents in there.
Okay.
Okay. Best realtor. That's easy.
Thank you.
Okay. That's
I wasn't nominated.
no. So the best realtor's easy, but again, it's a very good realtor
Yes.
was named best realtor.
Right. But this is again based on votes from the public.
Popularity contest.
You're right.
It should be the most popular, not the best, the most popular,
Just doesn't
based
sound
on
as
their marketing for votes.
Yes.
And soliciting votes on all of their social media.
Now,
platforms.
I'll be honest. I have won a Faces Award before. Okay. I have won it.
Yeah, okay. Well, that was probably for broadcasting or morning show guy, or what was it for?
Why couldn't it be for real estate? You're assuming. Yes, it was for television.
Well, I'm glad it's not, because I'd be pointing it out as I am right now.
It was for television. I think it might have been the first year that the Faces Awards were around.
But I can,
But you have to understand that, somebody nominates you, right? And your friends, family, and clients vote for you. So
I get that. And
Right? And there's nothing wrong with that. And there's nothing wrong with actually, and I think I
No,
may
but statistically,
posted here and there to say, hey, please, if you want to vote for me, then here's your opportunity.
but there's no stats. Well, I guess there are inside your industry, viewership from.
Well, there's that, but it wasn't based on that.
Anyway, you were. I woke up with you for 15 years.
Not every man can say that.
No. I loved that show.
It was fun.
That was
It was
a great
good
show.
show.
You
It
had a
was a good
great
show.
crew there.
Yeah, it was great.
You know, you see that. That was really good.
It was fun.
Anyway, the best realtor, no problem with it. Statistically,
Yeah,
they don't sell the most homes.
No.
But she's a good realtor, so I don't have.
right.
Okay.
Right.
Here's where it just gets a little carried away with the best, okay?
Yes.
The best luxury realtor in all of Ottawa.
Okay.
Okay. I arbitrarily picked the $1 million mark. And when our
That
average,
puts you into the luxury zone, I think, eh?
well, I mean,
Ish.
when townhomes are selling for 800, but I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. But yeah, $1 million, people still think it's $1 million home, okay?
Yeah.
So the best luxury realtor in Ottawa sold how many homes over $1 million? According to MLS, can only go. These were provided to me by somebody, and then I, of course, had to verify them. How many homes?
Well, I know the answer.
Okay, they sold one home over $1 million.
And won the award for best luxury.
Best
real estate
luxury
agent.
realtor in Ottawa.
Okay.
Now, when you think of luxury realtors, if you ask any realtor who's been in the business more than 5 years, who's dealing in a higher end price, certainly a realtor who's been in the business more than 15 years,
Right.
who's the GOAT?
I know exactly who the GOAT is in this town. It's Marilyn Wilson.
Marilyn Wilson is the GOAT. Greatest of all time since I've been in the business,
Yep.
closing in on 40 years.
Yep.
How many homes did Marilyn Wilson sell on MLS in 2021?
Over $1 million,
Over $1 million.
which would put her in the luxury category.
Well, that's a luxury.
I'm going to guess 2.
Well, that would be better than 1.
Right?
And Marilyn, congratulations. Shout out to you. Marilyn on MLS sold 53 homes in excess of $1 million in 2021. Now, knowing
That's good.
Marilyn in the industry as long as I have,
Right.
you can bet there's many more that she sold to clients on an exclusive basis.
Right.
So I'm going to
Not
put her
on the market.
No, not on the market. So I'm going to put her over 60 or
Sure.
right
You could
around
probably
60.
go up 75.
So Marilyn was not voted the best luxury
realtor.
in the city.
By the way, the realtor who won used to be my realtor, and she's a fantastic person.
Fantastic gal.
Absolutely.
Fantastic
But
gal.
she was somebody nominated for her for that category. So, you know. And what's the last one you want to deal with?
This is a classic.
This is my favorite.
And I apologize. No, I'm not going to apologize in advance to anybody who goes. And I invite anybody to correct us where we're wrong, but we really had to verify this. Best new realtor
Right.
of 2021
Right.
can only be determined.
In your mind.
Well, I'm right. In my mind. How many homes did they sell
In their first year in the
their
industry.
first year? Now, I can give you names that I've been very involved with who sold almost 40 homes in their first year in real estate. Phenoms. You don't have to look hard to find a few agents in 2021 in their very first year in real estate.
Uh-huh.
And we're assuming first year doesn't mean January on. There's a few of these
Full
people
year.
that,
I started in like April.
well, there you go. There is one in April and one in May. Not one of them that I talked to sold less than 15 homes.
Mm-hmm.
There was
That's
one
a good first year, by the way.
That's a great, in this market?
It's a great first year.
Great market.
It's fantastic.
But there is one that sold 27, and that might be the top first year.
Sure.
I'd like to know if it's not, if an agent or broker manager can call me.
Get to the point, Grumpy.
Best
The best new
Best
realtor.
new realtor,
How many homes they sell, Dan?
0.
Not one?
Well,
No.
I,
You've looked it up. I saw you do it.
I thought, Kurt, am I doing something wrong? After all the years I've been doing, am I doing something wrong? We went on. What, condos,
So
resident, none.
I guess you're grumpy about the fact that the best new realtor didn't sell any homes. If it was based on stats, that wouldn't be correct. Right? But this is not based on stats.
No, it's popularity. Let me be clear. It's which of us can rally all of our contacts and friends on social media to go to the Faces page and click the button.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now,
mind you, congratulations to all the winners in every single category, because there's some great people out there doing great things, be it real estate, be it receptionist, be it, best, restaurateur, best brewery, all that stuff. Congratulations to you, because winning an award is nice. There's no question about it. Like I said, I've won a Face Award, and it was nice.
And
I would, if I was a realtor, and I won that award and somebody nominated me and I ended up being the best of any category, I would work that. I would use it in my marketing for sure. But you got to understand that it's just people voting for you.
If you're going to call yourself the best of anything in real estate and it's attached to an Ottawa award, and you're going to start using it in all of your marketing material,
right? And
you know in your heart you aren't the best,
right?
Get ready to be called out.
Yeah.
Because it's not me on a podcast. I'm just pointing it out and again, I'd like to reiterate, I really enjoy the Faces magazine. I'm a sports guy. They do a lot.
They do great profiles.
And I understand their business model about these awards.
Yeah.
Like Consumer Choice.
Yeah.
You could win the Consumer Choice.
Yeah.
But if you weren't willing to pay them for the honor of using their winner Consumer Choice Award logo,
right,
then it went to second place.
That's right.
Yeah, come on. Jeez.
I just remembered I was on the cover of Faces magazine once.
You know what? You can still find it, because I knew you had won that award at some point in time.
But our group on the morning television program, was featured on the cover.
Okay.
I forgot about that.
On this day, today,
yes,
what is the most controversial award given? The most controversial, without a doubt.
Of any award?
Of all the awards that they award best of, what do you think's the most controversial?
I have no idea.
Yeah, you do.
Do I?
Yeah, you had a Facebook post about it today.
What?
Pizza.
Oh, pizza.
Today is it National Pizza Day?
Sure it is.
Okay,
I did post about that.
You will not find more opinions. As a matter of fact, when somebody tells me the best pizza in all of Ottawa is the Bella Vista, I knew they grew up in Alta Vista, Elmvale Acres, or the Ridgemont area.
Right. I'll tell you where the best pizza is coming out of tonight.
Well, I know where the best takeout is. Well,
my back deck, because I'm getting my pizza maker out.
Do you have one?
I do.
Propane or electric?
Pellet.
Oh
yeah.
A smoker or the egg?
No, it's dedicated to being a pizza maker. You can get it in propane. You can get it in pellets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have one of those bad boys, and it is some. Now, mind you, I love pizza, and I order out from the locals whenever. But when we get this thing out, it's the old style.
Well, I'm shouting out to San Marino, and I grew up in Alta Vista, Bella Vista. We get in fist fights with guys from other neighborhoods about it.
Yeah, if you're out in Bell's Corners area and you're looking for pizza, get a Mort's. Mort's is good.
I will drive out there. Next time I'm out there, I'll pick one up. Are they on Robertson?
Yeah.
They are?
Yeah.
Got to be, because that's the oldest.
Yeah, they've been around for a long time. I've been in Bell's Corners. I lived in Bell's Corners for, must be almost 15 years now. And, close to that. And Mort's has been there throughout.
Well, I'll tell you, my cousin hooked me up
with
San Marino.
Yeah.
And when I pulled up to pick up my first pizza, he's the only SUV Mercedes possibly in Ontario, deckled out in Steelers gear.
Oh, my God.
There's another thumbs up for him.
Right.
There you go.
Hope the pizza's good.
Oh, it's good.
That about wraps it up for this edition of the Broker Loaded Podcast, a podcast all about real estate and pizza.
And part 2 is on.
Yeah, so this
Gotta mention that.
this was all about what to expect from your realtor, the buyer's edition. We'll do the seller's edition too and talk more about that very topic on our next episode. We want to thank you so much for joining us. That's Dan Grimes. Don't miss Grumpy Grimes next time. It's classic. I'm Kurt Studley.
It's a beauty. The next one's a beauty.
Have a good week, and we'll talk to you real soon.
Next time, guys. Thanks a lot.